bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that a terrible tragedy is rocking the town of Los Angeles when Taylor is suddenly found dead in a gruesome situation. The latest information shows that Taylor's death was not just an accident, but maybe the result of a targeted murder, and Brooke seems to be the top suspect. Steffi was the one who discovered her mother in critical condition. After a tense conversation with Ridge, Steffi decided to visit Taylor to ask about her mother's health, especially about the broken heart disease that Taylor is facing. Steffi hopes that Taylor has shown signs of recovery, and she wants to hear her mother share about the positive changes in her life. But when she enters the room, Steffi cannot imagine that what awaits her is a terrible tragedy. The scene before Steffi's eyes shocked her to the point of being speechless. Taylor lying motionless on the floor with a deep stab wound in her stomach. There was no breathing, no signs of life, and the crime scene suggested that a struggle had occurred. The room was in disarray. Furniture was knocked over, but the most noticeable thing was the presence of a hairpin lying near Taylor's body. This made Steffi panic even more, because this hairpin did not belong to her mother. Steffi rushed to hug her mother, calling her name in desperation, hoping that Taylor had just fainted and could still be saved. But all efforts were in vain, and Steffi had to face the heartbreaking truth that her mother was dead. Tears welled up. Steffi was completely overwhelmed by the pain and sudden loss. In that moment, a series of questions began to appear in her mind. Who caused her mother's death? And why was there a hairpin that did not belong to Taylor at the crime scene? Steffi immediately called the police to investigate, and the investigation quickly began. The hairpin became an important clue. It was not just a forgotten personal item, but could be the key to unlocking the truth about the murderer. The police seized the hairpin and began the process of verifying the owner's identity, and no one could have expected that the hairpin could lead to Brooke, a woman who had a complicated relationship with Taylor in the past. Brooke and Taylor had long had fierce conflicts, mainly revolving around Ridge and the emotional war between the two women. They had many confrontations because of Ridge, and their relationship was always in a state of tension. Brooke had been suspected of intending to harm Taylor many times to take Ridge for herself, so when the hairpin was suspected of belonging to Brooke, all suspicion fell on her. The police began to search for any evidence that could connect Brooke to the crime scene, and public opinion also began to stir about the possibility that Brooke was involved in Taylor's death. However, whether Brooke was really behind this incident remains a mystery. Was the hairpin just a coincidence, or was it actually a trace that proved Brooke's presence at the scene? Was Brooke really there at the time of Taylor's murder, or is someone trying to frame her? As the investigation continues, Steffi and Ridge are facing the pain of losing a loved one. Steffi, who witnessed her mother's death, will not stop until the truth is revealed. She is determined to find Taylor's killer and demand justice for her mother. But if all the evidence points to Brooke, the situation will become more complicated and tense than ever. The love triangle between Brooke, Taylor, and Ridge has long been the center of emotional struggles and hatred. Brooke couldn't hide her jealousy when she saw Taylor and Ridge sharing intimate moments during treatment. Taylor was the source of Brooke's worries, making her feel emotionally threatened. This jealousy and tension could have become the fire that pushed Brooke into a dangerous situation. So when Taylor was suddenly murdered, all suspicious eyes immediately turned to Brooke. Steffi, with the pain of losing her mother still not over, firmly believed that Brooke had murdered Taylor because of a personal grudge. For Steffi, Brooke's motive was too obvious. Jealousy of the relationship between Taylor and Ridge, she decided to cruelly eliminate Taylor. Brooke, however, denies all charges, insisting that she did not kill anyone and that the presence of the hairpin was just an unfortunate coincidence. Brooke tries to come up with reasons to explain her presence near the crime scene, but they are all too vague. No one believes her defense. And what is more worrying is that Brooke has no evidence to prove her innocence. All the current evidence is against her, and with the tension between her and Taylor, no one can rule out the possibility that Brooke is the real killer. As the investigation continues, another name begins to appear on the suspect list. Sheila, with her criminal past and repeated acts of violence, has become a suspicious figure in this story. Could Sheila have taken advantage of the tension between Brooke and Taylor to create a fake crime scene, frame Brooke, and cover up her own crimes? Sheila has always been capable of evil plots, and it is not impossible that she was involved in Taylor's death. Sheila may have seen the perfect opportunity to eliminate Taylor and frame Brooke, exploiting the long-standing feud between the two women. In this way, Sheila not only eliminated Taylor, but also made Brooke suffer punishment for a crime she did not commit. Sheila's recent mysterious appearance in town has only added to the suspicions about her role in the case, and the police are still investigating and searching for new clues. The hairpin may be a key piece of evidence, but does it really prove Brooke is the killer, or is it just part of a more elaborate plan? Every little detail at the scene is being carefully analyzed, and any evidence that could reveal the truth will be uncovered. The investigation into Taylor's death is slowly revealing many dark secrets. And is it true that Brooke caused Taylor's death out of jealousy, or is Sheila the one behind all these conspiracies? The next developments will take the audience through dramatic emotions, and the final results of the investigation promise to shock everyone. In the coming time, the truth will be brought to light. Can Brooke prove her innocence, or will there be more unexpected surprises? Let's wait for the thrilling and suspenseful episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful, as the truth about Taylor's death is gradually revealed.